Hello everyone, this is LATHA AKULA. In this video, we are going to start with a new chapter, that is the mineral nutrition. In the last video, we have completed the transport in the plants. Now we'll see what is the mineral nutrition. So before going into study about the mineral nutrition, we need to know about what is a nutrient. So what is a nutrient? The nutrient is nothing but the chemical substance present in the food which acts as a raw material for the growth and maintenance of its functions is termed as a nutrient. So for it may be a plant or animal or any living organism, food, right? The food consists of various chemical substances. Those chemical substances, they build the body of that living organisms and also maintain the various metabolic functions present inside the body. So that chemical substances are called as nutrients. They are called as nutrients, and these nutrients they may exist in the form of organic or inorganic form. Examples for the organic form of the nutrients are the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are the organic nutrients, and whereas the inorganic nutrients are carbon dioxide, water, mineral salts. All these are the inorganic nutrients, and here the plants requires several inorganic nutrients, right? So we are not studying about the organic form, we are studying about the inorganic. Here the plants require inorganic nutrients, right? These inorganic nutrients are called as minerals. These inorganic nutrients are called as minerals, and these minerals they require for the growth, development, structure, physiology and reproduction of the plant. For what they are necessary? For the growth of the plant, for the development of the plant, for the developing the various structures of the plant, and for the reproduction and physiology. For all these process, these minerals are required. These minerals are required. And here what is meant by mineral nutrition? Here the mineral nutrition means the study of various sources of these mineral nutrition. Sources means what? Where they are available, where these mineral nutrients are available, from the air, from the water, from the soil, like that. Here mineral nutrients are available in different sources, right? The study of the source of the mineral nutrient and mode of absorption, in what form the mineral nutrient get absorbed into the body of the plant, that is called as mode of absorption. Distribution, in which place of the plant it is distributed, in which part of the plant it is required. And metabolism, we have different metabolisms, right? In the plants there are different metabolisms: photosynthesis, respiration. For those metabolisms, in which part of the enzyme that mineral nutrient is available. For all this, the studying about all this source, mode of absorption, distribution, metabolism, mineral nutrition, the study of all these source, mode of absorption, distribution, metabolism of various inorganic minerals for a plant is called as mineral nutrition. And there are several methods to study the mineral requirements of the plants. In that, the important one is the solution culture technique. So the solution culture technique, it is a method to study the mineral requirements of the plant. And here this is a solution culture technique. In this, we are growing the plants in the soil free defined solution. Soil free means what? We are not growing the plants in the soil. Instead of the soil, what we are using? We are using solution. Soil using defined mineral solution. What is meant by defined mineral solution? So, the plant requires different minerals, right? We'll take some chemical substances and they were properly weighed, and the proper proportions of the minerals were mixed in the pure water. Proper proportions of the all the chemical substance, all the essential elements are mixed in pure water, that is called as mineral solution. Here by defined what is meant by defined mineral solution? Here the concentration of the various essential elements which are required for the growth of the plant was properly designed, and those mineral nutrients are added to the pure water, that is called as defined mineral solution. Here the solution contains all essential elements in a proper proportion, and this technique was proposed by German botanist in the year 18 Julius von Sachs. Julius von Sachs is a German botanist. In the year 1860 he introduced this solution culture technique. And here in this technique, where the plants were grown, they were grown in the soil free solutions. That technique of growing the plants in the soil free cultures was called as hydroponics. They were called as hydroponics. Here the soilless growth of the plants in a nutrient solution. We are taking a nutrient solution, we are not taking any soil here, hence it is the soilless growth of the plants in a nutrient solution. So the soilless growth of the plants in a nutrient solution is called as hydroponics, right? And here what we are doing, we are taking a solution, right? For that, what we have to do, we have to take the different chemicals which are necessary for the growth of the plant. They were properly measured, and the proper proportions of those chemical substances was mixed in the pure water. Pure water means what? We have taken the water which is free of all the contaminant, which are free of all the microorganisms or other debris. Okay, that is called as a purified water. And the solution is taken in a sterilized glass jar, polythene bottles. Also taking the solution in these glass jars or polythene bottles, the bottles were covered with the black paper. They are covered with black paper. What is the necessary of the black paper? If they were not covered with the black paper, they were exposed to sunlight, right? To prevent the algal contamination and also to prevent the reaction of the roots to the sunlight, we are covering the jars with the black paper. And not only that, these jars, they contain split covers. They contain split covers or cork. Split covers or corks are present. Why? What is the importance of these? Because here we are growing the plants in the solution, and must be suspended in the solution. For suspending the plant in that solution, we are using a cork or covers to hold the plant properly. And not only that, we have to add some nutrients. For the adding the nutrients, we need to place some funnel, and also we need to place aerating tube for the proper aeration of the roots to prevent the rotting of the roots. For all those purposes, we need this split covers or corks. And next one is significance. So significance of hydroponics. What is the importance of hydroponics? Here, these hydroponics cultures was useful for the commercial production of various vegetables such as tomato, seedless cucumber, lettuce. For the growing the vegetables in the larger scale, this hydroponics is the important one. And these hydroponics are used to identify various essential elements and their role in the plant growth, and also we can identify different deficiency symptoms. In the absence of several essential elements, the plant may exhibit several symptoms, right? Those are called as deficiency symptoms. So for examining all those, for identifying the various deficiency symptoms and for identifying the what are the essential elements required, for that technique also we use this hydroponics method. And we know the soil consists of so many microorganisms. It may consist of bacteria, algae, fungi, viruses, and in the plants grown in the crop fields, they suffer from various diseases, right? Where they are coming from? They are coming not only from the air, water, and also those pathogens are bacteria or fungi which are causing the plant diseases. They may also come from the disease causing organisms which came from the soil are called as soil borne pathogens. But here we are not using any soil, right? Hence these plants will not suffer from any soil borne pathogens. That means we can control the soil borne pathogens also. And we can control the problem of weeding, which is generally seen in the plants grown in the traditional culture methods. Here there is no weeding problem. We are using all the pure cultures, right? So there is no unnecessary or unwanted plants were allowed into the hydroponics. And next, and we can regulate the pH at optimum for particular crop. Plants, they require different pH conditions. So in the soil, it is difficult to maintain the various pH conditions. But here in the solution, we can maintain the optimum pH which is required for particular crop also. It is useful for the places where the soil is infertile, dry, desert, arid conditions. In that conditions also, in that areas also, we can grow the crops by this hydroponic method. Next concept is essential mineral elements. How these mineral elements enters into the plant? These mineral elements are generally present in the soil. from the soil. By the roots, they get translocated into the various parts of the plant. And here totally 105 mineral elements have been discovered. Out of 105, 60 mineral elements have been recorded in the various parts of the plants. And we can also detect the various elements in the trace amounts up to 10 power minus 8 grams per milliliters also. And here there are different elements present. We can categorize those elements into essential elements and non-essential elements. So what is meant by essential element? The essential element is the element which involved in the structural and physiological role of the plant, without which the plant cannot complete its life cycle. Element is called as essential element. And for this essentiality, there is a criteria was also established by the two persons called as Arnon and Stout in the year 1939. They proposed a criteria for knowing the essentiality of the mineral elements. So now you see what is the criteria followed for identifying the essentiality of the elements. Here the first one is the element is said to be essential when that element is involved in the growth and reproduction of the plant, without which the absence of that element, the plant cannot complete its life cycle. That means it cannot set the seeds also. That element is said to be the essential element. And another criteria is that element is directly involved in the metabolism of the plants. Metabolism means it may be photosynthesis or respiration. In that process, that element was involved, without which the plant cannot complete that metabolic process. That means it is essential. And another criteria is must not be replaced by any other element. That means these elements are highly specific. Without that element, we cannot replace with any other element. And the absence of that element causes disorders, deficiency disorders. We corrected by using that particular element. Okay, that is called as disorder. Based on this criteria, there are totally 17 elements have been found to be the essential elements, and the remaining all are said to be the non-essential elements. We have studied that 60 mineral elements are present, right? Out of the 60, 17 elements are said to be the essential elements by using this criteria, and the remaining all elements are said to be the non-essential elements. And what are the examples for these essential elements? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, boron, manganese, zinc, copper, molybdenum, chlorine and nickel. All these 17 elements are said to be the essential elements, and the remaining all are called as non-essential elements. So these non-essential elements, they will not play any key role in the growth of the plant. Hence, they are said to be the non-essential elements. In the next video, we will study about the classification of the essential elements.